Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Death Dominates here, and today I'm going to do a little overview and commentary over my elemental specs. So let's get right into it. I already reset my skills. So the first thing you're going to do, obviously, because that's elemental, you're going to put 1 in Elemental Mastery, 1 in Ice Storm, 3 in Silent Rain, and this is where my spec kind of differs from everybody else's. Usually people put 5 in Overcast Overseer because they want more damage and more less casting time for their Ice Meteor or whatever it's called now. But I just put in 4. And then I put 1 in Lava Flow, so it unlocks the next tier. Now, another thing I don't do is I don't put any points into Inferno Unleash, because it's kind of useless just to have, an extra Lava Flow after you crit. It's not gonna help you in the long run, basically. Next, you're gonna do Glacial Shell. And here's another thing I don't do that a lot of people do, which kind of messes them up, is they put 5 in Heart of Fire because they want the 100% chance to do, 25% extra spell damage for 5 seconds, but they don't get that if they're stunned during the time of their shield breaking and they don't have free will, then there's no point in having it. So I don't put any in there as well. And of course I put 5 in Flash Freeze because I want to be able to stun them while I'm, my shield's down. And I put 1 in Path of Lightning, and these next couple of things I'm going to do are the main things in my spec that I'm going to talk to you about a little bit. But this, I don't know if it's bugged or not, but I never really saw a difference between stun conditions with this, but I still put 5 in there because I don't like anything else. And this is also a very, very, very good part of the spec, because it says the Path of Lightning's Wall of Fire will trigger the fire vulnerability debuff on the enemies, increasing the fire damage they receive by 1%, can be stacked up to 5 times. So if we max that out and put it at 5%, it means 5 times 5, which is 25% more fire damage they receive, which is going to help you in the long run, which comes to the next thing I'm going to explain. Of course, you're going to put 1 in Lightning Revenge, 3 in Chain Lightning so you cast Lightning Revenge faster, and here is where my spec, this is how I do my maximum amount of damage. Okay, so this part of the spec is very interesting, because basically if you max it out, you increase your spell critical rate by 50% when your spells hit a target that is affected by a shield or burning condition. Now, what's so cool about this is that when I burst, I usually freeze them, and then when I go in and use all of my CDs, such as, Howling Hurricane, and then I use Path of Lightning, because they get a burning condition from Howling Hurricane, it automatically triggers that. So, not only am I getting critical damage from Howling Hurricane, I'm also getting all the critical damage from all the fire that's coming from Path of Lightning, on top of the fact that I use Lava Flow, which crits every time, and it's for 3 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 3 seconds can really count if you're trying to kill somebody fast. So if you're right at the end of an arena match or a duel or anything, you freeze them, you go in for your burst, you'd rather have that extra 3 seconds of crit where you can do maximum amount of damage, especially if you have a T4 trinket, which I'll get into that in a minute. But if you have that spec'd in and you do that extra 3 seconds of just full critical damage, which is basically full critical if your critical rate's already up, plus the 50%, then you're going to do the max amount of damage that you can possibly do. And the last point we're going to put into Elemental Essence, which, cools down, Howling Hurricane, Driving Hail, and Glacial Shell. Alright, now that we got that down, let me just adjust my sidebar up really quick. By the way, I don't use Morph. Morph is very useless. Let me just put all this in the sidebar. And I'll also go over my, the gear that I'm wearing as well, so you can see how I put my gems and etc. So, for me, I use full S3, and a lot of people like to use 2-set T4 or 4-set T4, 2-set S3, which is, it's really pointless because in the long run you just die faster, because ever since the update for Stargazer, since they took out the Ice Tree, mages have gotten 20 times squishier. So I'd rather have full S3 with more resilience, more stamina, than have more damage and die in 3 seconds, which is, it's pretty stupid, to get T4 anyways, but unless you're going for PvE. But my gem set that I use level 4 stamina, but see, this is where you guys are going to hate on me because I have Spell Haste, which is completely useless for Elemental, but keep in mind this gear was gemmed back in the Ice Tree, so that's why that's still in there. I don't want to spend money just taking out gems to put crit in. But I use level 4 stamina, level 4 Spell Haste, and level 4 Spell Power in all my S3. Then I use the VTL FCL 2 set, which does that. You can read it. And then I have S3 Wand, which has my Lava Gem in it, which is a really good gem. You guys should look into that if you haven't, found out about it yet. I have Oracular Fan with level 5 Stamina, Spell Haste, once again was gem when I was in Ice Tree, and my level 6 gem. I wear the S3 Rings, the S3 Cloak, and the FCL VTL 2 set. But that's basically how I'm set up right now. That's always how I've been set up for PvP. But I'm going to show you guys, by the way, I have no buffs on right now, so you're going to see like my true damage without buffs. But basically what I like trying to do right at the beginning of the match is, because, before I do that, let me show you. Your fireball, whatever it's called now, the Eternal Flame, every time you use it, every 3 casts, your spell damage is increased by 15% if you stack it 3 times. Which is good. That's even more damage on top of the spec and all the damage mages already have. But I stack it up about 3 times. But, you know, that also wastes the automatic crit that I have. But it's okay, because, you know, you're just trying to stack it. And what I have to do after that is if they charge me, I let them break my shield. And if they break my shield, I just walk away. I freeze them. Then I run in, Howling Hurricane, Path of Lightning, pop my T4 trinket, reset, Howling Hurricane again, and then I just Lava Flow and Lightning Revenge. And that usually hits for a lot, on top of the fact that it's still burning them through your whole burst, and especially if that crit up, then it does just a lot of damage. And right now, I did 99k damage just about in that one burst. So, I mean, it's a decent amount of damage considering that I am in full S3, but that's basically what I'll do. I'll do another little quick burst in a second after my stuff cools down. But that's how I usually do my burst. And another thing I wanted to tell you guys about is, if you're going against a healer in any kind of DPS team, since the healer has spray and it reduces like 50% of damage that they take, what you want to do is you're going to freeze whoever it is, and you're only going to use your small burst, which means you're going to use Howling Hurricane and Path of Lightning, then you're going to Lightning Revenge and Lava Flow, and that's going to do a lot of damage still, but it's going to make them waste prey if that person's still alive. So if they waste prey on top of the fact they might waste free will, then, you know, that's good for you because you still have your full burst, which is the instant cooldown, which I forgot the name again, which is Elemental Essence, which gives you all my cooldown for your stuns and stuff again. But after they waste prey and free will, that gives you a full opportunity to just run in there and do your full burst, which I'm going to do again. So once again, I'm going to Eternal Flame, freeze them, Howling Hurricane, Path of Lightning, let's go back and forth to get all on them, reset, Howling Hurricane, Lava Flow, and then Lightning Revenge. And that should do a really good amount of damage, and I don't know why that didn't just show the damage. But that's basically how I play Mage. I don't know if that's a good way to play Mage, but I usually get pretty far when I go into Arena. I usually win most of the time. But that's basically my spec. I'll go back to it once again, but that is my spec. I have none in Stargazer, by the way, because there's no point in it. It reduces your mastery. It reduces all the effects of Stargazer by 100%, so there's no point in going into Stargazer. But this is my spec. This is the gear that I use. And, you know, that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment if you guys want me to do anything else in the near future, and I'll...